Hello and welcome to the EUC in Austin video channel. My name is Rachel and I am recording our first video here. We are a family of 3 and we do a lot of riding here in Austin, Texas on our EUCs. And for anyone not familiar with EUC, basically it stands for the electrical unicycle. So these are electric unicycle vehicles, and we have been riding since January of 2022. My husband had done some research on some of these electrical portable vehicles that you can use. Started out with the scooter, then the electrical unicycle. He even has one of those long boards, not the one wheel, but it's more of a skateboard, which is really fun. And then we recently got a e-bike. So he has been, actually my husband's the one that is more the techie here, and so he's done so much research on these electrical vehicles. And here we are riding South Walnut Creek Trail. I believe that is more on the east side of Austin. It's a really nice trail. This is more for bikers though. So if you are a beginner, I probably would either, stay caution of bikers that are on this, or maybe go on a different trail. And I'm going to have some more videos. I've got a lot of videos that I've got to upload here to the video channel on some of the other trails that we've been on our electric unicycle. I'm going to focus specifically on electric unicycles. My husband thought I should just start this YouTube channel because there's not many YouTube channels, actually video channels, out there specifically for families with electric unicycles. And he noticed that there weren't a lot of video footage around town in terms of the different areas you can go to ride your electric unicycle. So this is going to be very casual. I'm just kind of speaking off the cuff as I narrate this video, and you can kind of watch, my husband and my daughter ride the unicycle as I speak and talk to you about our journey riding these electrical unicycles. And I will tell you, it was not easy to learn how to ride the electric unicycle. I thought that I'd be able to ride it. I roller skated as a kid. I also skied as a kid. And that's kind of one of the reasons why my husband kind of looked into it, because if he read that if you're used to roller skating or skiing, it's actually just a natural fit. I was not a skateboarder, so something like the one wheel or the longboard, and I did recently try his longboard electric skateboard a couple months ago, and it was not for me. I'm telling you, I fell on my back, and good thing I had protection. I had my gear on, I had a helmet and all that. And I will tell you that having gear is essential, especially as a beginner, not just for the electric unicycle, but any electric vehicle that you try out. As you can see, there's a pedestrian there, so we have to caution, be slow when we see pedestrian. We're also bikers as well too. Since we've been riding since January, we've become more intermediate riders, so we're getting past the beginning stages. And my daughter is 10, and we've seen videos of children and younger children be able to ride these electric unicycles, but there is a learning curve. So it is just kind of like riding a bicycle. You fall. And I saw so many videos, so many YouTube videos on how to ride the electric unicycle that I was actually overthinking it when I was trying to learn it myself. And what I got, and I did a lot of reading on forums and watching the videos, is that you just got to ride the vehicle. Just like learning how to ride a bike. Just fall, learn how to do it, and eventually you'll learn just from experience. So in the beginning, we stayed, there's a biker right there. We stayed in the parking lots, big empty parking lots, trying to learn how to ride these electric unicycles. And that really helped so that, to alleviate any of our fears that, oh my goodness, we might hit a person or a car, or this thing might fly off and it might go out of control. So we did that. I would say it probably took me personally a good, couple of weeks, close to a month, before I was actually able to actually balance on the electric unicycle. But once I was able to do that, then it was just a matter of staying on it longer. So it's kind of like these baby steps that you got to take when you're first learning how to ride an electric unicycle. And before we even rode it, we saw so many videos, as I had stated. My husband bought all the gear. We had the helmet protection, knee protection, elbow protection, and most important too, not just the helmet, but also the wrist guards. When my husband was a kid, he actually skateboarded, and I think he broke his wrist skateboarding because he didn't have that gear on. So let me stress, especially if you have small children, it is very important to actually have that gear before you even get on the vehicle, in this case the electric unicycle. But getting back to the story, so we did all of this in the parking lot for close to that month, I would say. And I think it was my husband who had actually learned how to ride it first. And then I kind of warmed up to it. He had bought me and my daughter electric scooters. So while he was trying to practice on the electric unicycle, we were riding the electric scooter. To begin with, we only bought one to ride, just so that we wanted to see, is this something that we really wanted to do as a family? So we started with the InMotion V8S, and my husband did a lot of research on, getting your first unicycle. And the InMotion V8, we have the S, which I believe it just has the longer battery and wider range than the other version. There's a V8, I believe it's F. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's the V8F. We have the V8S, and he did a lot of reading, and he found that was actually a good electric unicycle, just to kind of test the waters to see if this is something that, we wanted to do, if it was easy, for us to ride, if we can get the hang of it. So we started off with the V8S. He rode it first. And it was funny because as he learned how to do it, I really wanted to learn it. So, the scooter was fun. And for anyone interested in an electric scooter, it is a good thing to have, as a beginner. But after a while, to me, I want to do something else. And that's where the electric unicycle came in. So, and my daughter had a scooter as well, too. So she was just kind of riding the kid's scooter. But after a while, I really wanted to learn how to ride this electric unicycle. So I took it upon myself to read the forums. I watched so many videos how to ride it, and I was trying, and it was funny because my husband liked it so much, and I really wanted to learn that we actually had to take turns. And so, we'd pick up my daughter from school, and I'd be like, I want to go try to practice on the electric unicycle. So he'd take us to the parking lot after school, and we would just kind of, practice. And it was to the point where like he already knew how to ride it, and I was still learning, but I still wanted to do it. Then it got to the point where once I got to know how to ride it, I just wanted to ride it. And we only had one electric unicycle between the family. So after that, he decided to look into electric unicycle for him and also my daughter. So you see in the video what my husband is using. In this video, he actually just bought another one. So yes, it's super fun. But in this video, so after the V8S, that actually became my electric unicycle. And then my husband, he looked into different types, as he got to know what, these electric unicycles are all about. And he decided on the InMotion V11. And let me tell you, it is a great one. I'm actually riding that now that, we've been riding for a couple months. And my husband, he just bought one, the Sherman Max, which is actually more of a heavier vehicle. You can use it on the road. And I won't get into that here in this video, but he's using the Sherman Max now. But in this video, he's using the InMotion V11. It does have suspension, so it is more comfortable than the InMotion V8S, which was our first electrical unicycle. And then he decided to get my daughter one, and she is riding the M10. I believe that's an M10. I believe that's a Pagode M10, which is great. So, and she still rides that now. Like I said previously, she is 10 years old. I'm going on 11. And this is just something that we do as a family. To kind of explore our neighborhood and explore the different areas here, being in Austin. And it's really great because it's funny because we were talking about it. When you're in a car, you don't notice these things. You don't notice, oh, this new food truck. I didn't even know there were food trucks in our area, until you start actually going on one of these personal vehicles. And my husband had actually got us into, bikes, like regular bikes. And, we really wanted to, teach our daughter to learn how to ride a bike because I thought it was essential. I rode a bike as a kid. I rode it everywhere. And after a while, we just stopped riding our bike. Same thing with the regular scooter. We had also regular scooters for the family, and we just kind of stopped riding it. And what we found was that when you're on one of those manual, it's great, don't get me wrong, those vehicles are great, they're there for a reason, but when you're on one of those manual, unless you have the strength and endurance of an Olympian, which obviously we don't because we are not Olympic athletes, that, you're kind of limited. You're kind of limited by you because, we're all humans. We get tired. So, there's going to be a point where, I don't want to pedal anymore. Or I don't want to use a scooter and kick it off anymore, So it's not probably the best vehicle for exploring. Obviously it's great for exercise. We do have friends we ride with, and they have regular bikes, and the mom, she does it for exercise, but there's a limit to that. With these electric vehicles, on my V8S, my InMotion V8S, my range is, I think it is 40 miles, Can you do that on a bike? Most people can't go that far on a manual bike, 40 miles. Same thing with my daughter's and my husband's electric unicycle. The range is great. We rode it downtown. We rode around downtown. We rode to my daughter's school from where we live, and that was a good 25 miles, round trip. I think that was the most we've ridden, 25 miles round trip. It's about 12 miles to, 12 miles back. Then we'll go get like a bubble tea. They love like the bubble milk teas. I'm more of a coffee drinker personally. But, this is something that, we'll do on a Sunday, with the weather being great. Now we're going into winter and it's getting cold and it's actually been raining. At the time of this recording, it's actually November, and Thanksgiving is tomorrow, actually. But while we're riding here in this video on the Walnut Creek South EUC ride here, it is actually in the summertime. It's very great weather. Only thing it is kind of hot being in Texas, given that. But it's just, something fun to do once you kind of learn how to ride these electric unicycles. They've been around, I believe, since mid 2015 and up, so they've been around for a while. This is 2022, and it's about 7 years. So as far as I know, now I will say I'm not an expert in these electric unicycles, so don't quote me on anything. Just kind of going off the knowledge that I think I have, but they're real fun as a family activity. But like I said, there is a very steep learning curve as compared to, most people can ride a scooter, even an electric scooter. It's not that hard. Usually with the electric scooter, there's something on the handle called a throttle, and it allows you to kind of go forward. Kind of like, those cars when you're in themes parks like Disneyland, the Autopia. You just kind of push on the gas to go forward and take it off to slow down, So there's a throttle, and I think there are brakes too on the electric scooters. But like I said, I was riding that for a while. My daughter was riding that for a while. But after a while, we just kind of got bored of the scooter. And then just like the electric unicycle. And it's funny because I do use the electric scooter. We've got some eating places nearby just to kind of get food to go. And I will go to these places and I will take my electric scooter there, and then I'll bring the food back. My husband made some kind of basket so that I can put the food in it, like a container box. It was actually out of like a empty laundry container from Costco. Really funny story. But anyways, so I'll use it for that. But other than that, I don't really take the scooter out that often. It's more the electric unicycle. If I want to go on a ride or, kind of explore. Actually, if I'm also stressed, I do work from home. So, on those days, like I am so stressed out, I need to do something. We are so used to just getting in the car and, just going somewhere, that now I'm kind of in that different mindset, and it's great. It's a full body workout, obviously it's electric, but you're out there, you're in the sunshine, you're, getting fresh air, with nowadays with technology, most of these kids, and I was talking about this with my husband, they're inside, they're on the computers, they're on the phone, they're on the TV. And as a kid, I spent a lot of time outdoors, and that's why my husband, he got these for us, the electric unicycle, so we can kind of go back to that, be one with outdoors, be one with nature. We like to take road trips as a family. Actually, it's funny because we are actually going to go back to visit family in California in December, and I'm actually getting these videos because they've been sitting in my computer. And it's funny because my husband was kind of asking me, when are those videos going to be ready? We want to show our family and when we visit in December. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so busy. But I decided, what, I should do it because these videos have been sitting at my computer, and what good are these videos if no one sees them? So here I am narrating EUC in Austin. So thank you so much for, visiting our channel. And if you are watching this and you like what you hear, you like what you see, please let other people know. Like I said, this is basically a electric unicycle channel that I'm starting. Our family is starting to share what we do as a family. And it's funny because, there aren't many families that I know of that do these group rides, and we're trying to, find more families to do them with us. And our friends here in Austin, they're doing the same thing. They ride regular bikes, and her husband is a bike enthusiast. He really likes bikes, and they do have an electric bike. It's just super big, but they are thinking of, the husband's looking into the electric unicycle, and we showed him. And then we also showed him our electric skateboard, the longboard, not the one wheel. So we were actually looking into getting a one wheel in the beginning, but found that the range is kind of limited compared to an electric unicycle. And it's got, some of its own issues. I won't get into it here in this video. Maybe I'll get into it into another video. But also, I'm not even a skateboarder, so I roller skated as a kid. I went to the roller rink. I roller skated in the neighborhood. I was also a biker. I biked in the neighborhood as a kid. I remember biking in my neighborhood, and then when my family would go camping, that was, what else is there to do? Take a walk. And I just really enjoy those times, just biking. Usually I'd be by myself, biking in the neighborhood, biking in the campground, or roller skating, I also am a skier, so I skied as a kid. So this is just a very natural thing to do with the electric unicycle. Okay, so just in case you're wondering, I'm just going to take a break from the commentary about our experience. This is still the South Walnut Creek Trail, South EUC ride, and it's a really good ride. As you can see, this is still going. We are still riding our electric unicycle on this ride, so it's going to be a long ride. And like I said before, the people who go on this, you saw a couple of pedestrians walking, are mostly bikers, bike enthusiasts. So there are certain, rules of the road, I guess you can say, that to follow if someone is riding on these trails. And one of the things you want to do is just kind of stay in your lane, because right there we are on the right hand side. You can see a biker probably coming on the left-hand side the other way. And some of the rules of the road to follow: if you're going to make a turn, you want to stick out your arm. So I'm going to make a left turn, you want to stick out your arm to the left. If you're going to make a right turn, you're going to stick your arm to the right. So if a car is behind you, obviously there's no cars on this trail, or a cyclist is behind you, they know that you're actually slowing down and you are going to make that turn. That's just kind of one of the rules of the road to follow if you ride these vehicles. But it's a really nice ride. There is an incline. If you're a beginner, I probably wouldn't recommend doing this entire thing. Especially if you're still learning. I wouldn't try to learn how to ride an electric unicycle on this trail. But we went on a Sunday afternoon. There's a biker right there, as you can tell. We went on a Sunday afternoon, and Sunday afternoons are basically our family time. During the week, my daughter has school, I work from home, and my husband works from home. But we also make Sunday kind of like a priority for family time. So we'll usually do one of these trails in town, and then probably get a bubble milk tea or something like that, and I'll just get something to eat afterwards, for dinner for our family. So, yeah, it's a really nice trail. Parking was great on a Sunday afternoon. And the parking lot, it wasn't very full. We find that Sundays are actually a good day to ride because most people, to be honest, they like to stay home on Sundays unless they're out shopping or they've got something to do. Saturdays are really busy for families, soccer games, haircuts, school events, activities. But Sundays are more calm in terms of riding, and there's not many because we've been riding, we do ride on the road with the bike lanes. We do ride on the street with our daughter, which we have to be careful of. But we find that Sundays are a really good day to ride. There's less cars on the road. There's less people out. Obviously that depends on where you're going. But on these trails, for the most part, there's not a lot of, people out there. And so we like to do the Sundays. It's very quiet, too. And it's just a really fun thing to do, a neat thing to do once you get to learn how to ride these electric unicycles. So, yeah, we're still riding here, as you can tell. And there's another biker. One thing I did want to mention is if there's a biker behind you, usually they will either signal, I've never had them have a horn, but sometimes they'll have a bell to signal you that, oh, we're behind you. So just let them pass, slow down and let them pass. Or they will say something like on your right or on your left, depending on what direction they're coming from. So when a biker approaches you and they say something like that, on your right or on your left, you just kind of want to let them pass. Don't try to speed up. Oh my goodness, I hate when people do that on the road, in your own car, and you're signaling and to the left or the right in the car. We've all had this happen, and they speed up. I hate when people do that. But yeah, don't try to do that, and just let them pass, and then you'll be on your way. We go at a very conservative speed. We're not going that fast. And as you can tell, we're getting to the end of the trail here, so we're going to be turning back. We're very close to the end, and it'll be so much fun once they connect the South Walnut Creek Trail with the North Walnut Creek Trail. We're really looking forward to that because we're more in the north part of Austin versus the south part. So we're really looking forward to that when they connect them, and it'll be so fun to do. Now, we've done also the North Walnut Creek Trail as well too, and I will probably do another video on that. I've got so much videos here in my hard drive that I need to get through. So you know how it is doing videos. You're editing and inserting titles and music if you want, and now this, doing this narration. And yeah, it's getting a little bumpy, but that's probably me. So we are getting close here, and after this, I think we are going to be turning back. So, can't wait for these two trails to be connected. We have friends that they could actually, once it's connected, get on the trail to Walnut Creek. It's actually pretty much their backyard. And so they're also looking forward to that day. Yeah, this is the end when the two trails are connected. So we will see. Maybe it'll happen in 2023. I don't know. Hoping it does. So we'll see about that. So like I said, we do these on Sundays. It's just kind of a nice ride that we have, and something that we look forward to as a family. And you'll notice sometimes in these videos it says 7.5 miles. I think it is about maybe 7.58 miles. That's the mark right there. So if you want to do round trip, obviously you've got to double that, getting back. And there's a car right there. Personally, I like when we're riding on these trails when there's more tree coverage. Obviously, here it's like everything's been, I don't know, maybe there's crops or something. Okay, this is the end. This is definitely the end. I see the stoplight right there. So we are definitely going to be turning back. Here we are slowing down here. And time to go back. And we are turning around. And I am turning around too. And just in case you have a question about the video or whatnot, I am not doing this on my phone. I am not, like again, this is South Walnut Creek EUC in Austin. I am not filming this on my phone. I am wearing a GoPro on my head, okay, on my helmet. So on my helmet, there's just a little area to put my GoPro on it. I believe I think I have the Hero 8. It's just not here in front of me right now for my GoPro. And it's funny because I've had this thing for years. My husband bought it for my birthday one year. And he wanted me to just kind of start filming, with a GoPro, things that we did. And I never started doing this, actually using the GoPro until I started, doing these rides with our family. So I'm just finally getting to use it. And for anyone interested, I use the GoPro 8, and a lot of YouTubers, they have, older GoPros too. So you don't need the newest thing on the market. This thing works. I will say with a GoPro, it's just more for doing the video. I wouldn't try to use it. I did try to use it kind of like as a talking head video, like looking at me. And there's just issues with the software in terms of that. But if all you're doing is recording video like this, and you're doing an activity such as, outside, outdoors, it's great for that because, you can kind of bang it around. I'm obviously, nothing too much, but if it drops, usually it's okay. We looked into other videos, recording devices specifically for the electric unicycle, and I already had my GoPro. I'm like, well, maybe there's something else. But some of those other video recording devices, they're just very, very, sensitive, fragile. So if you drop it, that's it. And there was one that I really wanted that some of the YouTubers, I think they were riding their electric skateboards though, not the EUCs, they were using. And so we, looked at some of the reviews online and basically found out if you drop it, that's it. It had a great price point. It was a great product, but not so much. And I drop things all the time. I drop my phone, I kid you not, my personal phone a couple times a day. The first thing when my husband buys me a new phone, he's more the technology person here in our family, he buys me a case, because if I did not have a case, that thing would break. But anyways, so we're going back here on the South Walnut Creek EUC ride here in Austin. And we're just heading back. And I believe we're going to be going back to the YMCA, the East Side YMCA. I believe that's where we'll be ending the video. But we've got about 10 minutes here, so I'm just kind of talking here. And if you're just kind of joining me here on this, basically I am just, doing this video for our family YouTube channel, our video channel, of our ride here in Austin at the South Walnut Creek Trail. This was taken again on a Sunday afternoon in the summertime. It's going to have been July. I think this was in July. And we're just kind of, riding our vehicles here. And like I said before, once you kind of get the hang of riding, then it's just second nature. It's just like riding a bike, driving a car, the hardest thing is just learning how to do it. And once you do it, then it's just kind of perfecting some of the skills. My husband can like go up bumps now and curbs and jump off curbs with his electric unicycle. I'm not that kind of rider. I am more a cruiser. So, I'm super conservative when it comes to riding these vehicles. I'm all about safety, and I want to make sure that also my daughter, make sure that we're safe. So I haven't gone down that road of doing tricks. I mean, I can do little weavings and stuff like that, but I haven't gone down that road of doing tricks. I'm not a speed demon. So I believe my in-motion electric unicycle, my V8S, the max it could go is 20 miles an hour. And it was funny because we were actually downtown going to a food truck on the street, and my husband was riding that one that you see here in the video, the V11, the in-motion, and that can go up to 30, I believe 32, 35 miles an hour. So he was going faster than me. He does like to go a little bit faster and just kind of push things. I'm not that kind of a rider. And I was way behind him, and it was beeping. It was beeping. I was going past that 20 miles an hour, and then I was getting they call it a pushback, like a tilt back. And so, he just kind of waited for me. But anyways, I digress. Okay, so we are getting to the end of where we need to get to in this video. I've just got a couple more minutes left here in terms of the commentary. And as you can see, I mean, going back, you definitely get your money's worth. I mean, it is kind of costly up front to buy these electric unicycles. And, they're like, I think my daughter's electric unicycle, that M10, was about $1,000. Mine was about, I think it was $1,300, $1,400 for the in-motion V8S. And my husband's in-motion V11, now, mind you, that has suspension, so it's going to be very comfortable. That was, I believe it was like $2,200, $2,300. So they are kind of pricey. And when you buy these from the distributors, we bought ours from eWheels. They do have some, they have payment plans if you don't want to pay everything up front. We just kind of paid everything up front just to get it over with. But they do pay for themselves. So if this is something that you're interested in, this is something a family can do as an activity to explore, your town, or kind of get to know some of these areas. And we bring these, hey, we're going to go get a bubble milk tea in our neighborhood, ride, go get coffee, I mean, it's great, instead of, the price of gas and being so dependent on a car. Also it allows you to explore and kind of have more experiences as a family. And that's what I like about it. It's just experiences. Our daughter's 10, but, in 10 more years, she's going to be a young adult. She's going to be in college. So, and she will remember these experiences that we do as a family, not just riding in the car, because riding in the car, there's not much, you can observe outside, but doing this as a family, it's great. Remind me as a kid riding my bike. So, but anyways, I mean, it's a really fun activity. And if you have any questions about the electric unicycle, want to get my opinion now, like I said, I'm not an expert on these things. Now I am more of an intermediate rider. But, I came as a beginner. My background is, I roller skated as a kid. I skied as a kid. I biked as a kid. So I had that going for me. But if you have any questions about, opinions or questions about, what's a good one to start off on, let me know. Or, areas that, to ride as a family here in Austin. We are in Texas. Just let me know in the comments, and I'll try to help you out, give you my opinion on, best things to do. But yeah, we are getting towards the end of this. I know this is like the third time I've said that we are getting towards the end of it, but I just didn't want this to cut out and then the video ends. But we are heading towards the YMCA now. It's the East, I believe it's the East YMCA, to the end of our ride. And I think once we get to the end of the ride, basically once we stop riding, we just, we bring drinks. I have a backpack, so I bring all the drinks, how it is as a mom, the snacks. And we just kind of enjoy ourselves, just kind of take it easy, especially on a Sunday, We don't work on Sundays, unless there's something like really urgent. Try not to work on Sundays, and we don't have our daughter do any schoolwork on Sundays. Usually try to get all of that done on Saturdays so that we can kind of relax and take our time on a Sunday. And, just enjoy nature, and being one with nature and all these trails, being in a city, there's only so much concrete that I can take, so just kind of being one with nature. And there's so many trails here in Austin, and if you're watching from another state, another area of the country or the world, take advantage of what you have around you, and these trails are there. It's just you've got to kind of just be active and trying to find them. I mean, we've been here in Texas, going, over 10 years already. And I knew these places were around, but we never took advantage of them. Even when we had our bikes or scooters, we never took advantage of them until now with the electric unicycle. So, see what's out there, and do it and check it out. And, if you like it, you like it. If not, no big deal. But at least you could say that you kind of tried it out. And honestly, I can honestly say I'm really happy that I learned how to ride an electric unicycle, and my daughter learned how to ride an electric unicycle. My husband pushed us to, come on, you can do this, because there was a point my daughter just did not want to do it anymore, like trying to learn it. But once she got the hang of it, now it's like nothing. Same thing with me. I fell down so many times, just like, again, just like riding a bike, but it's definitely worth it. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of trees, so we're getting back onto the main area of the trail. We're getting closer to, I believe this ends at the East Side YMCA. So it's coming close to that East Side YMCA. We're almost there. So the video is going to end pretty soon, but thank you so much for joining me here on, this is the first video. So like I said, it's going to be completely casual. I'm just kind of, doing a video commentary as you watch my husband and my daughter on their electric unicycle. I have a lot of videos in my hard drive, so just kind of watch out for the next one. If you like what you see, tell a friend, tell a family member, subscribe to this YouTube channel, EUC in Austin, and I will try to get these videos up when I have the time and when I'm able to do more of these commentaries. This is my first one, so please bear with me. But thank you for joining me here. And like I said, this is, our family YouTube channel. This is for families who are interested in learning how to ride these electric vehicles, personal vehicles. I think that's what they call them, electric personal vehicles. And just kind of a nice family activity to have, and something to do when there's not much else to do, or there's not many people out, like on a Sunday, like I had mentioned. So we are just really enjoying this. So I will have the next video up soon. I don't know when the next video will be up. Oh, I do see the date here. Okay, this was right after July 4th. So this was July 5th of 2022, just in case you were interested in the time of year and the date that this was filmed for the South Walnut Creek EUC ride. But yeah, we're almost there. I can see that we're almost getting to where I think we're going to make the turn right here to the east side YMCA right here. And you see my husband with his arm to the right. That's how you make a turn when you signal other people who are behind you. Arm to the right or arm to the left. So we are getting to the end of the video here. We're kind of slowing down, as I can see. And you're going to see, I believe you're going to see a parking lot as we get to here. And I believe there's also a soccer field. When we went there that day, I think there was a game going on. So it was really nice, just, kind of something to do, to pass the time, to kind of get out and, see what else is out there. And yeah, there's some homes here on the left, as you can see. So it looks like we are getting here near the end of the ride. I'm just looking at my timer mark right here, and we are almost done. So I think for now I'm going to just stop the video very soon, but I'll let you see where it ends off. Like I said, there is the YMCA. Yep, here we are, the East Side YMCA, and this is the end of the ride. Well, that's about it for now. Thank you so much for joining me here on the first video of EUC in Austin. This is Rachel, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends if you do like this video and video channel on YouTube. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the next one. Have a great Thanksgiving. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye.